Kuwait. Kuwait plans to establish a new sovereign fund to develop its local economy. With us now is Busch, CEO of BPI. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, what do they have in mind there in Kuwait?
Yeah, that's a great question. We don't have all the details. We don't know the funding amount or the source of the funding yet. But certainly the Kuwaitis want to stimulate their domestic economy, and this is to support some of the plans that are already in process with the work program. So this is interesting. We'll see where it goes. But I mean, there's a lot of things like working on the, developing a new terminal at the airport, creating, enhancing their port, as well as creating an amusement park. So we'll see where all of this goes, but it's fascinating that they're moving forward on it.
Yeah, you were correct to mention that we don't know where the financing is going to come from, and we know Kuwait is not in a great shape financially. Can they finance like mega projects like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, you don't know where the funding's going to come from. If it's going to come from the KIA, we'll see how that goes. There's been a lot of fighting, political fighting between the cabinet and the parliament, which has stalled a number of different bills. It stalled the ability to move forward to develop some oil fields in Kuwait and also create a VAT tax, which may have, funded some of these projects. So we'll see where this ends up. This is a little bit of a, end around away from the parliament. There is even more political turmoil because the finance minister resigned as well recently. So all of this is happening at the same time. It's a bit chaotic right now in Kuwait.
Right. We used to think of Kuwait as another oil country, a very rich, oil-rich country in the Gulf, but the economy there has gone not in a good direction.
Right. And so with the drop in the price of oil, I think that's hurt them as well. Plus, let's face it, OPEC is producing beyond what they're supposed to be producing. Russia is clearly going past whatever they were supposed to be producing. And I think because Russia is selling discounted oil to China and India, it's drawing customers away from the Middle East, and it's hurting their oil sales overall, and certainly the oil revenue. So when oil is down, below $80, it's a significant shortfall in many of the government revenue projections that they were looking at to spend money.
Yeah, are they looking to cooperate with other Gulf states?
Yeah, that I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. These sovereign wealth funds are fascinating. There's about $4.5 trillion worth of sovereign wealth funds in MENA. And so I would say, and KIA has about over $700 billion of investment capabilities. I'm not sure they're going to, work closely with Saudi Arabia's PIF as an example. I don't think the Kuwaitis want to invest in British soccer clubs as an example. Mm-hmm. And maybe they want to avoid the recent $11 billion loss by the PIF as well. So I think they'll be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more domestically focused. The key question, I think, is this. Can they draw in, can they work with a public-private partnership to actually draw private investments into Kuwait? That we don't know yet. That'll be interesting depending on how they structure the fund.
All right. Andrew, thank you very much for that.
You bet.